And the man Elkanah and all his house went to offer unto the Lord his yearly sacrifice and his vow. That yearly sacrifice there is first fruit. So he goes to commence his spiritual year by going to God with first fruit. The moment he has given first fruit, it means that he has reactivated the covering of God over his life for that year. That whereas others might die by Boko Haram, die by bomb, die by blight, he will not die by those. It is only when his days are accomplished that he can sleep with his fathers. So the question is, have you been really conscious about activating your spiritual year? That's why most of us end the year the way we started. There's no wisdom in our ways. He goes yearly with his sacrifice and his vow. That's how he goes to Shiloh. It's something deliberate. And he goes there not just with a sacrifice, he goes there with a vow. I don't have time to talk about vows. Because the average Christian today is vowless. And that's why we lack the skills on how to move the hand of God. We are confronted with the wall of Jericho. Something that is humanly impossible, something that is impregnable. There are skills that you can put to work that can move God's sovereign hand. The man is going to trade with God. He's going to do business with God. He leaves his city and he journeys to Shiloh. He goes there with the sacrifice of first fruits. He also goes there to make vows and to redeem vows so that he can get God's commitment. There might be famine, but his own lands will be watered. There might be bloodshed, but his children will survive. There might be disaster, but he will look upon it on the right and the left, and he will be spared. It is when you know this truth that you will hear tales of woe only from afar. And it will be said concerning you, when they shall say there is a casting down, you will say, what? There is a lifting up. He goes to Shiloh to renew his covenant with God, and that is how his spiritual year starts. Jehovah Sabaoth becomes his backing. And if you meet him in the office and you are looking for people to show wickedness, if you make a mistake and add him to the number, Sabaoth, that he came to sacrifice to at the beginning of the year, will appear in your dream. Yeah, he will appear in your dream with a weapon and say you are a dead man. And behind that man, you know, what I tell you is what I practiced. People that rose up in the office and say, this man is our problem, they were cut off. They brought one manager like that, just causing problem. When I got fed up, I went to God and said, is this man relevant to you? Because I need to know if the man has a covenant with God too. It will be difficult to contend if the man too is secured. So I had to go to ask God some private question. Is this man relevant to you? The Lord, instead of answering me yes or no, he showed me a wild wind from his presence that came and plucked the man from his seat in the office. I know how his seat looks like, and threw him away. So I went to the office, and one of my colleagues, who happens to be a son of the bondwoman, came to me and was complaining. He said he went home 2 a.m. last night, that his wife had slept and left the door open, that armed robbers would have invaded. He cried. I said, weep not. For I have seen the visions of God. A wild wind from the presence of God came and took the man. That utterance was fulfilled in 7 days after I declared it. That's when the sons of the bondwoman believed that I was a prophet more than Christians. Yes. Oh. One of them wanted to marry, brought the wife that I should scan for demons. Osayi. There are things you can do that will guarantee your preservation. So there are witches in your family. Let one carry your name. That's the last trip the person will go. I'm not saying it boastfully. I know where I'm talking from. I'm not saying it. All of you are witnesses. When it was confirmed that there was Chris Ajodo was falling on Inoju. In the night, he will fall. I said, okay, bring him to my house. For 4 days, he didn't fall. Then after prayer one night, he was going, he fell down. I said, no, this guy is not well. I called some of the best doctors that I knew. I said, a human being that will be walking and suddenly fall, what is wrong with him? I said, many things can be wrong. But we should go and run a brain scan. So we ran the scan. We did CT scan. And there it was. There was a tumor in his brain. And because the doctor was my friend, he was afraid to tell me that there was a tumor in that guy's brain. It was 1 month later, he now got courage to tell me. And then the tumor had grown. He fell again at home. So when he fell at home again, that was when we now said, doctor, what did you see in the scan? Said, there's a tumor there. Tumor! Meanwhile, we woke up the next morning and the guy's mother came to the house. And he said he saw that his son died. I said, Mama, people don't die here. But her dream was accurate. It's just that I did not tell her that there was a tumor. But I told her people don't die here. I don't know where you went to see that vision. But you saw wrong. But I had to prove that it was wrong by this guy surviving. When you are in that situation, don't think your tongues can do much. If you don't know the way of elders, people around you will die. There are things we do, yes, to move the hand of God. Yeah, we paid for the surgery, 1.1 million. The expert, they say it's trained in Egypt, that he opens brains every week. So we took the guy there. So when we took him there, I went to the Lord with the things that are due his name to appease him. That guy died on the table for 38 minutes. He died on the table. After 38 minutes, he revived, and he's still alive today. Please help me tell your neighbor, don't die, don't die. You can live until you are tired of life. He died for 38 minutes on the table. You know that thing now, that monitor that goes like this? The thing went for 38 minutes. After 38 minutes, he picked again. The guy has even had a child after that surgery. And when I see that child running around, the only thing I do is to speak in tongues. That this one was brought from the dead. There are principles that God has put in place that if we practice, you'll be immune to the disaster that is coming. Please, no one else should die. No one else in your family. No one else should die. And just in case you are listening to me online, I say, you shall not die.